Okay, so first off, I want to thank you for taking time to sit down and do this interview with me. As I explained earlier before I turned the camera on, I'm working on a documentary about pets and how pets are considered members of the family, and the importance pets play in people's lives. So obviously you have a dog here. What's his name?
Bobo.
Bobo. Okay, and how long have you been a pet owner?
I've had pets ever since I can remember. The first pet I've ever had, I was 3 years old, was a black lab named Princess.
Okay. Yeah, so actually, I was one of the second questions I was going to ask you is what was the first pet you ever owned? So you kind of jumped the gun on me in the answer. Have you just owned dogs, or have you owned other types of pets?
I've had other pets too.
What kind of pets have you had throughout your life?
Well, mostly it's been dogs here, but I've had some cats, a guinea pig, a couple of lizards, like salamanders, turtle.
Okay, cool. So it sounds like you've had a lot of dogs throughout your life? Yeah. So I guess, would you say in terms of a favorite type of animal for a pet, would you say that you're a dog person?
Yes.
Okay. And do you have any, is he okay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you have any, certain breed of dog that you prefer as a type of pet, or?
Not really. I mean,
No.
I do. There's ones that I am partial to, I like German Shepherds, Dobermans. Then I like small dogs. When I lived in Georgia, I used to have a miniature pinscher there, which was a lot smaller than him.
Okay. What kind of dog is he?
He's a Chihuahua mix.
Okay, cool. And what is it about dogs in particular that drives you to them, that makes them a preferred pet as opposed to cats?
Well, dogs, they want your attention, and cats, it seems like they only want it when they want it. Cats are very independent,
Yeah.
and dogs, they're just, they don't care, what you look like or what you sound like. If you create a bond with them, they're your buddies for life.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Would you say, whether it's Bobo or any of the other dogs you owned in the past, do you spoil your pets, your dog?
I would say yes.
Yeah. Now, that spoiling of the pet, do you find you do that more for the dog, since you're pretty much a self-described dog person?
Yeah.
Would you say you you're more apt to spoil a dog than as opposed to if you had a cat or a bird or something, or do you think you would spoil the pet?
I think I would spoil the pet no matter what.
Yeah.
Like him, most other dogs I've had that they like toys and stuff like that, and I'll go out and buy them a bunch of toys. And the dog I had when I lived in Georgia, the miniature pinscher, I had a little toy box for her. But him, he's never played with toys or never had that interest there. So spoiling him, he likes treats and stuff like that. So I'd try not to give him too much there, but. He likes the Frosty Paws. That seems to be one of his favorite things there.
Yeah, Frosty Paws. That's what is that?
It's the frozen ice cream for dogs.
Okay. So the next question, it kind of gets into the heart of what this documentary is going to be about. And just before I actually get the question, kind of a little lead up to it. Many people consider their pets to be part of their family. Would you consider Bobo and even any of the pets you've had in the past to be part of your family?
Definitely, yes.
Okay. And from your own personal insight or your own personal opinion, why do you think that is that people place their pets on that level of equal importance, that they're considered part of the family?
I think it all has to do with the bond you create, with the pet, and just the pet being there for you no matter what. I mean, like I said, if you're upset, I mean, there's been times when I've been upset and he's come in and put his head on my lap and kind of comforted me, and
Okay, so it's yeah, it was like earlier. I did a interviewed another family where a couple kids and they have a hamster, and I was talking to their mom about like the what makes the pet special, that it becomes like a member of the family. And she has a young son. I was asking him, and he kind of said the same. Sometimes his hamster, when he's feeling sad or he's feeling sick, like physically sick, he can go around, be around the hamster, and he'll feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
So like, and when it kind of brings back a question I'd asked her that I want to ask you is, and you kind of started touching on when you said about how Bobo is something, if you're feeling sad, he comes in and he makes you feel better.
Yeah.
So it's like a role he serves. Are there any other roles that Bobo or any other pets that you've had that they serve, or functions within the family that help elevate them to that status of being a member of the family, instead of just you have like your family, like the people, and then your family, and then like the pets, like a secondary thing. If that's not too complicated of a question.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying. I mean, with him and a lot of other dogs and other pets, there, it's like I consider him a member of the family there, because unlike other members of the family, like brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, there, I would do anything for him, like I would do almost anything for them. If he's in danger, I would help him. Help him out, get him out of the danger. Just like
Okay, and
any family member, I would.
Yeah. So, why would you say? Why is it that you place him on that same level of importance as like brothers, sisters, mothers, father? Because like you do have. I mean, obviously there are some people that they just view pets as it's a pet, it's an animal.
Yeah.
They place the importance of it lower within the hierarchy of the family. So why do you place Bo or any of the other pets you've had on an equal level of importance?
Well, because it's like I've said before, it's the connection and the bond with him, and like animals don't know right from wrong. They they're essentially like an innocent creature, an innocent being, and I just feel that it's the connection and the bond, just like family members, that you get with the animal.
Okay. No, this wasn't actually a question I had planned, but it kind of just came to me. This is something I asked in another interview I did, where it's talking. You said you've had pets, as far as back as you can remember, like being 3.
Yeah.
Now, look, a lot of times, when kids are younger, like parents will get a lot of the kid to have like a goldfish or a hamster or something small, and it's a means to teach responsibility and like the importance of that taking care of something else that depends on you.
Yeah.
So, and obviously it sounds like you've kind of experienced that growing up at some point.
Yeah.
Would you say that you having pets at a young age, you got to learn responsibility?
Yes, I would say that.
Now, obviously a kid, from a kid's point of view, they don't necessarily look at it as like, oh, I'm learning how to, it's like building that, their interest in a pet, you would have to, assume from a certain point of view, is that, it's a pet, it's like a friend, it's somebody. So, if you can think back to when you were a kid growing up, did you realize you were, in having pets, being allowed to have pets, that you were, being given opportunities to learn?
I didn't realize that at that age there.
Okay. Some people, like, they train there. You have, like, I guess, when you look at different pet owners, there's almost like different styles of pet owner. Would you agree
Yes.
with that? So, obviously, there's one like you're, a pet owner. He's a member of the family.
Yeah.
He's on equal footing with anybody else, whether it's brothers,
Yeah.
sisters, So, and then you have people that, for example, dog, or they get a dog for a specific purpose, like to be a guard dog.
Yeah.
And like, now have you ever had pets to that in that capacity where you've, instead of being, a member of the family, and not to say that it's not a member, but like the main function of the animal, or purpose for having him is to be like a guard dog, or you know, some places they still have like dogs to do sheep help with sheep herding, things like that. I guess you call it more so a working dog. Have you ever had any pet within that capacity?
No.
So pretty much any dog, I guess you said you've had some other animals.
Yeah.
It's mostly been dogs. So they've been basically members of the family.
Yeah, majority of them, except for one, have all been like shelter dogs.
Okay.
Or rescue dogs. Like him, he was a rescue dog. Or actually, I wouldn't say rescue dog. He was in the winter found underneath a porch, shivering.
Okay.
And that's how found him. He was underneath the porch, shivering, and we put stuff at trying to see if it was anyone's dog there, and nobody ever claimed him. And this is going back back 2008, 2009, so
okay.
10, 11 years.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you've had him a long time. And
yeah.
You just kind of
He's 13, 12 or 13 now.
Yeah. So, that kind of, your tale of how you acquired Bobo brings up an interesting point about pet ownership, which is, and you mentioned it, that a lot of the dogs you've had have been like shelter rescues and things like that. Have you ever like gotten a pet through like a breeder or
Yeah, one. Yeah.
And how would you compare like first off, would you say there's a difference between getting a dog or any kind of pet from a breeder as opposed to rescuing?
Yeah, there is a difference. Like when you go into the shelter and you look at the pets, there are a lot of them, they've either just been abandoned or they've come from neglected homes there, and they need somebody to, I don't know if I say rescue them or just show them that, what they experience, not everyone's like that. And what I try to do is with any dog I got from the shelter or whatever, tell them, look, I don't know what the people that owned you before did, but, as long as you're with me, I'm going to treat you right and do what needs to be done and take care of you. The breeder that I got the miniature pincher from, they're a very reputable breeder and very respectful. It wasn't one of these breeds that had a lot of litters or a lot of dogs there. They had two females and 2 males, and they would get litters from those two sets there. It wasn't like you go to some breeders and they have like 20 males, 20 females.
Yes,
there's no room. It's crowded.
Yeah, so you're talking like the puppy mills.
Yeah. This is when I went in to in Georgia. Like I said, it was very respectful. They had a lot of room there. They had 35 acres. They had 15 acres fenced in for the dogs.
Okay. So now, one thing like in some of the research we've done is there are people when it seems there's a lot of people when they go to get a pet, it's very spontaneous. And there's not a lot of like thought put behind it.
Yeah.
And stuff. Now, in your experience, when you go to get a pet, do you limit yourself to only one pet at a time, or do you, as far as like ownership and having in your home, or will you have more than one pet?
Well, it depends on certain situations there. Obviously, if you have a small apartment or whatever, and you're trying to take on 5 or 6 large dogs there, then you're not being very kind or respectful to the animals itself. But usually, with me, it's been like one pet at a time type of thing because I've never had the space.
Yeah. So now, when you do go to get a pet, like a dog, for example, do you do a lot of research about the dog? Do you go and you said you do like to do you mostly had shelter rescues and stuff, and which I kind of want to get back to that. But when you go and do you go to a shelter a few times and kind of find a dog and see if there's a bond there and or something that can be built?
Yeah, I'll do that. Or sometimes I'll go in a shelter and try to look for a dog that needs somebody that's just when you look at the dog's face, you're like, okay, well, this dog needs to be out of here. It's
Okay, so that kind of helps get back to where I wanted to get with a question regarding getting dogs from the shelter. Obviously, we've all seen commercials about dogs that end up in the shelter and they've come from abusive or neglected situations. Have you ever had a dog that's come from a seriously abusive situation?
Yeah.
That essentially it's a dog is like a rehabilitation dog.
Yeah, there was a dog when I lived in Georgia. I went to one of the shelters down there, and dog's name ended up being Tusk there, and he was a like a mix between like a German Shepherd Husky and I forget a couple of other dogs there, but he was abused and just in really bad shape there, and I ended up taking him and kind of working with him for a while.
Okay. And would you say now, comparing Tusk,
Yeah.
as probably would that be safe in assuming that that's probably the most abused case of
Yeah.
dog? Now with him and what kind of dog that's been the complete opposite of that, and like using those two as the comparison points, what would you say? Like would you find one to be more rewarding than the other, or would it be equally rewarding but in different ways?
It's equally rewarding in different ways there. Like the total opposite of Tusk would be, Dora the miniature pinscher, because she was a puppy and got her in, trained her or worked with her to do a bunch of different things, and it was rewarding that way. And then with Tusk, the thing that was rewarding with him is taking a dog that was so abused and just so mistreated, and then taking him from, because he would hide under tables and couches, and getting him to run around and play with a ball and frisbee and
So now with Tusk, would you say that there was a challenge in like establishing the trust, like getting him to trust you?
Yeah.
And,
It was definitely a challenge there, because I couldn't get him to eat for the first 3 days of bringing him back from the shelter. And after that, he wouldn't eat when I was around. What I had to do is take bowls of food and water and slide them under the couch, and he would crawl under the couch and eat the food under the couch and then come back. And the way I knew that is I'd check under the couch like a few hours, and I would see that food would need to be replenished. Or
would you say your previous ownership of having dogs and growing up with dogs as a part of your life was like a big factor in being able to rehabilitate a dog